What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. It is time for the roster update number 4 upgrade predictions, and we've got a banger this week. I think this could be a massive week, y'all. It really depends which way they want to go with it, how aggressive they want to be, but there are a ton of candidates, and there's a lot of near misses that are going to be our next wave of golds and diamonds that we need to get in on now so we can make a shit ton of stubs. Get Mr. Michael Trout if we need him, finish off that collection, maybe get some specialty cards, whatever you're trying to do. But we got to get you those stubs. We're going to start bottom, go to top with these 43 names. If you want all 103 of the names I'm predicting, twitch.tv/spore, become a subscriber. Get in our Discord, you can get the full list. Let's just get started. Let's start with my favorite team. I got to be honest, my Tigers are kind of featured here this week. We got lots of guys making moves, baby. Still a garbage team, but you know what? It's okay sometimes because Eric Haas is here. Unfortunately, he's not really an investment right now. As you can see, he's a new card, so he's expensive. I do need to give him some love, though. Hit another homer tonight. 59, going up to like a 66. I think he just gets into bronze. He's going to get a massive power boost. Frankly, I didn't realize his power was that low. He should probably be like a damn near 69, 70 at this point. I could see 10, 11 points for him because that power is going to go way high. I'm talking at least into the 70s. I'm actually surprised they brought him in with such low power. That's like the one thing he had. You could have given him pretty low contact. I would have understood that, but the power is literally his carrying tool. So he's going to get kind of a redo of his entire card here. He's going to go way up. I don't know if he really has a case for silver, though, so you can't really get in right now. Again, I just want to show some love to Eric Haas. Let's move on. We got 4 commons. I just want to get through them quick just to give an idea about kind of their outlook going forward, too, because sometimes common investments can be really nice, especially for exchanges. You get a bunch of Lamont Wade Juniors at a base price, 7, 8 stubs here, and he goes up in value by going up to a 66, which is what I have him at, maybe even a little higher depending on how aggressive they are. That trade-in value on your exchanges is huge for pennies, literal stubs. Under 10, you should be able to get a bunch of them, or you could even flip too because he'll become a bronze, he'll become more expensive. So whatever way you want to play it, these are kind of like the penny stocks of the MLB The Show market. Another one, but this one's more interesting in that maybe he's a hold beyond this week. Let's see where Trevor Larnach is. I got him going up to like a 68. Another guy who's going to get a power boost. He's going to get a little inflated power boost against lefties because 2 of his 3 hits are homers against them. He has not really seen lefties that well, and he is a little bit of a platoon risk, but the fact that he hit those 2 homers, they got to bump it at least a little bit. I'm not saying they got to go up to like 80 or anything, but throw it up to like, I don't know, 65 or so. So I think Trevor Larnach's definitely going to get a nice boost. I do think he has some potential to get to silver this year. It's a long way away, right? He's 64. He's 11 points away. I just wrote him up in an article. I'm really sold on his power being able to translate to the majors here in the near future. Now, listen, I'm hoping it happens this summer. That's why I'm speculating on him in a fantasy league and kind of wrote him up. I literally wrote him up at Fangraphs as somebody to speculate on. But it might not happen until next year, right? It's like one of those things that I don't know when the window is, but I got to jump now in case it's right away. And I think his raw power, which is basically batting practice power, can translate into game power. He's definitely capable enough to handle righties. We'll see if he can handle lefties. I hope he doesn't get treated like so many lefty prospects that never get a chance to hit against lefties. I will say this, though. I'm a little bit nervous about the roster position crunch when Kepler and Buxton come back. Buxton hit in his rehab tonight, blasted a triple, looks great. Can't wait to get him back. So Larnach is at least maybe a little bit of a deeper investment because even if he doesn't go silver, if you get him for literal stubs right now and he gets 2 upgrades, say to 68 this week and then like to 73 in a week or in 2 weeks or the update after that, again, you got those for stubs. So it's a micro investment that could pay off. And you know who the last one is. It's got to be the one and only. He probably hit 12 home runs tonight. I didn't even look at the Cubs box score. But it's got to be Patrick Wisdom. Again, this is very much Eric Haasian in that he's not investable because he is a new card, unfortunately. but his card is going to get a complete makeover. I got him at 71 right now, and maybe that's underselling him. Although that foundation isn't too bad. His vision is still very terrible. The discipline should go up along with the core 4 there, the contact and the power numbers. He's going to go way up. The bottom line is, does it matter long term? I'm going to say no. I think we've seen the best of Patrick Wisdom. I want to believe in stuff like this because it's fun. It's what makes baseball great. Although the fact that a lot of times these guys are just shining stars for a week, for a month, for a year, for a half year, is part of what makes baseball great too. It's not that every time somebody gets hot, they're now a superstar. It's like, hey, he had his moment in the sun. I'm not saying that that's exactly going to happen with Wisdom, but if it does, everyone will remember this past week that he had. Remember when Patrick Wisdom went off for the Cubs? That was insane, dude. So he's been incredible. If he continues, like, here's the thing. If he hits another few homers and just doesn't tank, he could get a June Player of the Month basically based off of the first 8 days of the month because he's been so electric since getting called up. Let's go back to my Tigers here, start getting into some of the bronze for bronze action here. And so again, these guys are going to be your next silvers to look at. And we're going to start with Tariq Skubal, who's down here at a 68. I got him going up to a 73. He's been striking out everybody. That strikeout rate is going to go way up. He's looked great. In fact, all three of the main, four actually, the 4 main Tigers pitchers this year when Jose Urena was on the IL, Tariq Skubal, Spencer Turnbull, Casey Mize, Matthew Boyd have all looked fantastic. We're still a garbage team because the bullpen and the hitting aren't very good, but there is at least something to be excited about. A lot of days the Tigers are starting somebody that's really fun to watch. Even Matthew Boyd, who's a bit older than these guys, is still developing and showing himself off this year with a rebound. And these 3 young guys, and Matt Manning hasn't even come up, are also learning. Unfortunately, Turnbull went to the IL, and I'm a bit nervous about that, but we'll talk more about him later. Spoiler alert on that one. Or just obviousness. If you've been following it, you know he's doing really well. Alex Reyes is still not going silver, guys. I'm sorry. He continues to walk everybody. The best I can see is like a 60, from a 69 to a 73. He is starting to strike out a ton of guys, and that's really helping. But I mean, he just walked me earlier tonight. Now, it was across the street. Stupid joke. I should end the stream and possibly my entire career because that was terrible. But he just walks everybody all the time. And he's so unhittable. I know it's so easy for my nerd ass to be like, oh, why do you swing at all those sliders that bounce 5 feet in front of the plate? You shouldn't swing at those. Like, who the fuck am I? But, dude, I would just go up there and just wait. That's a winning strategy, at least if you're down a couple to start an inning. Now, if you're a badass player, you're up there trying to make some noise. You're not looking to be passive. You're not bitch made like your boy going up there just taking 4. But man, he loves to walk guys. So the best I got right now is a 73. Until he cuts those walks, I just don't know how we get to silver. And some of y'all are talking gold because you think guys get upgraded based off of ERA. Next up, let's go to Arizona. This guy could definitely even jump right to silver here. He's kind of a fringe. I don't do 74.5s because they're not that pivotal, but Pavin Smith has been incredible. Pavin. I think I ask every time I say Pavin, and then I say, no, is it Pavin? And I ask chat, and they say, hey, you're so stupid. It's Pavin for the 5 billionth time. This dude's come up, and he's been kind of awesome for them. He's been playing really well, and even with Christian Walker coming back, he's still playing all the time because he's hitting. Walker isn't, and I think he's got a real future here as an infield, outfield kind of guy. He's got a little bit of that Bellinger vibe in a very light way. And what I mean is that he's a first baseman by trade who can play legitimate defense all over the outfield. So I conjure up that name for a little bit of clickbait. It's not saying that he has any chance to really become Bellinger, particularly in the power department, but he does have a chance to be a pretty impact player. And so I could see him getting silver. Again, maybe even this week. I got him going to 74. And so if +8 gets him to 72, that does bode well to at least get to the 74 I'm looking at, and then get him into silver if he has another 2 good weeks after this. Now we go out to the Rays and talk starting pitching. Not that guy yet. We'll get to him. But Shane McClanahan, you've probably been using the Future Stars this year, and you know that that's a really good card. I can't speak to his live series. Oh, actually, I can. I do use it in Battle Royale. I don't know. These 4 innings have not made an impact on me to know that whether it's good or not. He's a left-hander who throws 98. Of course, I'm going to draft him in Battle Royale. It's that easy. But I do have him going up to a 74. He's another one I could definitely see going right to silver this week if they're aggressive with him. He's been super impressive. He's definitely a save for silver if he doesn't get it this week. Let's talk some silvers. First off, I got one making a big move. Let's stay on this ball club here and talk Mr. Austin Meadows. There is a chance that he Adolises this. And what I mean by that is go from 74 to 80. He's a previous gold who's been an absolute superstar in the league for an entire season. He was a pedigreed player. Like we're not like, oh, is Austin Meadows real? It's like if he's healthy and playing, we know he's a badass. So he could Adolis it. But I have somebody else Adolising it. So I've got him at a 79 here, and I'll save my Adolis chip. You get 1 Adolis chip every week. What if they did that? Every week, they're like, we're going to upgrade 1 bronze to gold. And if nobody deserves it, we're going to spin a fucking wheel. And then all of a sudden, Alex Reyes, that's how he would get gold eventually. That'd be interesting, though. No, but I have somebody else Adolising it. We'll get to that momentarily. Let's go back to the best team in baseball. The Detroit Tigers. They're so elite. I told you we'd talk more pitching, so you probably figured Casey Mize would be on the docket here. He's really starting to show off what he can do, and I still stand firm that his statistical profile, not so much how they get everything done, is peak Jordan Zimmerman, which is a damn fine player. It's not quite frontier super elite, but it's more of a great number 2 behind a number 1. Is that going to be Skubal? Is that going to be Matt Manning? Could it be Turnbull or Boyd? Could they take another level in the coming years? I don't know. Probably not with those two, but Skubal and Manning certainly have the capability to be that frontliner, and then he can play that great second punch to them, the way Strasburg and Zimmerman were cooking. And then we have Spencer Turnbull obviously going up too. I mentioned that I'd get back to him. I got him going to 75. He did go on the IL, but I think he did enough to get his silver upgrade, and we'll have to wait and see for a while until he comes back. I hope he's okay, man. This has been one of my favorite breakouts to kind of watch in recent years for the Tigers. This was a guy that, I've been lucky enough to write for the baseball forecaster for baseballhq.com, and I got his profile one year. And it's a small box that you have to try to get as much info as you can that is cohesive, has like a flow, makes sense, and gives something to the reader. You don't just don't regurgitate the stats that are in the box. Tell something. And it was a year where he had shown some really interesting stuff, but the overall numbers were horrendous. Like nothing that would jump off the page at anybody of like the ERAs and WHIP and all that. So, I kind of molded it together with regards to what he had done in the minors and the majors, and kind of gave him a little flat, plant my flag of like, watch this guy here in the forecaster. That following year was when he broke out. So I was kind of early on this one. I know I sound like I'm just bragging, and I'm not. I'm not trying to just be a braggart. I'm just saying it's a lot of fun when you kind of identify somebody before their breakout, and then you follow them, you really root them on. You throw in that he's on my favorite team, and Spencer Turnbull has become one of my just pure favorite players. Keep track of him all the time, know when he's starting and all that, partly because he's on my favorite team, but also because of identifying him as somebody who could grow. I think that's it for the Tigers. So there was 4 of them, though. That's pretty good for the freaking Tigers, y'all. Give me a break on that one. Now we're going to go on to another favorite player of mine who just jumped another level, dude. I love this guy. I didn't even know so much about his personality until I recently saw him on the podcast with Chris Rose and Tyler Glasnow. Tyler Glasnow also jumped a level. First off, stop being so good looking, though, dude. That's just not fair, because he's one of those guys who's not an asshole about it, and that makes him an asshole about it. It's like he knows that he's just impossibly good looking, impossibly tall, and impossibly good at baseball, and just extremely cool somehow, too. I think I have a crush on Tyler Glasnow. Fuck. But no, fuck that guy, because be an asshole about it so I can hate you. Don't be like, I'm a cool person who's like really nice to people and awesome and everything. Oh, no, fuck that, dude. Be a prick, okay? Don't be looking that good not to go around being a prick. When you look that good, you get the shit. I'm just kidding. Anyway, Willy Adames was on that pod too, and he's just an amazing guy. I love Willy Adames. He was a guy kind of in the Spencer Turnbull realm that I was trying to get in on that early breakout, looking at his underlying factors and seeing somebody who could really come forward. Come to learn, my dude cannot see at his home ballpark. Well, couldn't see at his home ballpark. He was a disaster at the Trop. He had one of the starkest home road splits that you could ever find, especially when you consider the fact that players are supposed to be better at home. I'm talking one of the starkest negative home splits, because just inherently guys are better at home. A lot of times, even when they play in a pitcher's park, they're just better at home. You're more comfortable, you're used to it. It's just an acclimation thing on some level. So his career splits, let me just give them to you real quick. At home, he had a 630 OPS. That's kind of shit. I think he would admit that himself. Like, that's not good. He hit 219, 278, 352. That's not a starting major leaguer. On the road, he was a fucking all-star. 862 OPS, 293, 366, 497. He hit 27 homers with 7 steals in 651 plate appearances. That's basically a season right there, right? 159 games, 651 plate appearances, and that's a season. 27 homers, 7 steals, 293 average. All the other numbers I said, I don't know why I just repeated them. That's an all-star. That's an all-star right there. So now he's in Milwaukee, and while he misses his boys, because it's hard to get traded, he said every day feels like it's on the road now, which he used to love. Normally a guy says that and that feels like a negative. He's saying that as a positive because he loves his new home park. And now that breakout that I was pretty keen on for him, I really think Adames can come through with this year. And I think he actually has some gold upside. So you might want to hold through this silver into gold. It'll take a while, obviously, because I think he's going to go up to a 75, maybe a 76. It's going to take some time, but it's in there. I really believe that he's got the power to really improve against righties, get that contact against lefties up, and be just a really solid player. You can already see he has silver defense. If his arm accuracy improves, I don't know how we can necessarily check that. I guess his throwing errors, and if they improve, we can get them to maybe up that. There is a gold case for the very long term. So I really like Willy Adames. But either way, I'm rooting him on because he's a fun player and he's a good player, and he deserves to have some success that he's earning now that he's out of the Trop. We could stay here for a while. We got a few Houston candidates here, but we're going to talk about one in particular on the bump. Luis Garcia has been incredible. Got him going up to a 75 with what he's been doing. He was selected to maintain his rotation spot even when Urquidy and Framber Valdez came back. That's a big sign off there that they like him a lot, and that was over Christian Javier. Now, I will say, it is a big sign of encouragement, I think, but also they might just switch spots at some point in the year because they're not going to let Luis Garcia make like 30 starts. So honestly, it's probably, you could maybe spin. I'm actually backpedaling completely on this idea that it's like this big sign of encouragement. I think they're letting Garcia pitch now because they trust Javier more, and they want his starts to be in the dog days in August and September. So I actually think that you can make a low-key case that that's an endorsement of Javier. Of course, it screws up his gold chances for now, unfortunately, and so you can invest in Luis Garcia, but I think he's just going to go bronze. I do like Jose Urquidy. Are we at Jose Urquidy yet? We have one more bronze, but since we're here, I'll just say I got him going up to a 77. Let me just get that out. He's not at gold yet. I still like him for gold. He's one of my long-term holds for golds. I got to get some more of him, though. Oh, I traded all mine in because he was base price. Never mind. I was like, I used to have like 35 Urquidys. Who robbed me? I robbed myself because he's base price. But now you jackals are going to go raise him up. We got one more bronze, though. It's Player of the Month, guys, so this one won't be too surprising. But Ryan Tepera is going to get into silver. I got him going to a 76. He's been electric. That's why he got a Diamond Player of the Month, which, by the way, that card looks kind of fire. 5 pitches from a reliever with the meta pitches, too. I think they gave him a sinker instead of the two-seamer, didn't they? Chat will let me know. I don't know. I got a few more silver to silvers here. Let's get into those. I've mentioned Urquidy. The Pirates could be getting a second gold soon, and it's not who you think. It's actually Brian Reynolds. Truth be told, Cabrizi is off to an electric start himself. I actually didn't put him on the list And that was a miss. I think he will actually get a couple point boost. So now is the time to get in if you're interested. I'm going to skim a few off the top here because I'm not going to have time to get there by the time I'm done with this. I'll just skim a few off the top, you know. But yeah, he's been great too. But Brian Reynolds is the focus here. I got him going to 78, and I think Cabrisi goes to 78, 79 as well. Both of them playing well. So they could have 3 golds. If Rich Rod would just strike out a few more guys, he could get to gold as well. They actually have a handful of guys playing well, but they're still terrible. Kind of like my Tigers. Let's go back to Milwaukee real quick. I got a guy here who I do think has some gold upside. He had a disastrous debut with Milwaukee last year. Omar Narvaez couldn't hit a lick, but he did learn how to catch. And so his defense went from like uber common, meaning it was in the pits, dude. He couldn't catch the ball. You'd be better off with a position player behind the dish in MLB The Show because he couldn't catch the dang ball. It's only silver, or it's only bronze, so it's not like he's a superstar catcher now, but his defense greatly improved, and I wonder if last year he was just so focused on that he kind of lost it a little bit at the plate, and it was only 2 months, so he fell into that hole and he never got out. This year, he's been electric, and I got him getting into 78, right into that hold for gold range now. Jump in now, you see it's damn near base price. Super cheap to get some Omar Narvaez. This one could be gold. This one could be gold. I've been in on Tyler Mahle from Jump Street. Still tons of room to invest. I got him going to 79, but this one could be gold. Just there's a couple guys. I'm going to talk about another Cincinnati guy in a moment. I think one of them gets there this week. Which one is it? I don't know, but they're both excellent, and you should have plenty of both already because I've been talking about these guys for a while. This next one could also go gold here. And this one has a more compelling case to do so because he just got hurt. And I got Evan Longoria going to 79. They might be able to nudge him over the line there because he is hurt. And so that's really going to stifle his chances to get gold for a good while. It derailed what has been an amazing rebound season for Longoria. 280, 376, 516 on his slash line. He deserves better, man. That sucks that he got hurt. He's still not hitting righties that well, but I do think they could give a little love to that, but also just increase what he's been doing against lefties. The contact and the power should both go up. I don't know if it's enough to get him there, so it's probably more of a 78, 79, but I do think see, the tough part is I can't go in and like adjust the numbers the way I could because they're not necessarily the same rating in the front page roster. So I want to know what like 4 points of contact versus righties and 8 points of power, but then like 10s against lefties. I want to know what that does. I think that's probably still silver, but we'll see. And then we have a couple 79.5s, and they actually have some reasons behind their 79.5 that I'm going to cover. The first is Alberto Mondesi. Remember him? I mean, he was in the league for like 9 seconds, and then he went back on the IL. But that 9 seconds was pretty brilliant. That's what she said. It really was, though. 7 games, 2 homers, 360, 360, 720. I didn't stutter that his on base and his batting average were the same because my dude is allergic to walking. He is the opposite of Alex Reyes. But again, a 1080 OPS with 2 homers in his very brief stint before getting injured again could be enough to get him some love and push him gold. I will say, though, I think most of you would hate that because you would then have to pick him as a gold in BR, and that's a lot less appealing. So some of y'all might be rooting against it. I got to be honest, though, I haven't done so well with him this year, so maybe I wouldn't care. So send him gold. Who cares? This one is a position change one. If he gets his position changed, he's definitely going gold in my opinion, and that's Mark Canha. You see here that it takes a pretty big impact move there, 16 points against righties on with the power and contact against righties to go to 81. Now, he's not getting anything like that against a single-handedness. That would be massive, and he's a lot more balanced than that. And he's not really a big batting average guy, so I don't really see his contact moving up all that much either way. Maybe a handful of points up to like 60 contact against lefties. The power, I think, needs to spike. The discipline needs to go even higher, and he needs to get out of center field. He's not their center fielder, and I think the position change alone would do it. Mark Canha is a gold. He should be a gold. He's been elite, an elite hitter. I'm not stuttering here. He has a 143 OPS plus since 2019. That's 1,003 plate appearances. I don't have it handy where that ranks, but I guarantee that a 143 WRC plus, or I said OPS plus because I was on Baseball Reference, but I can do it with WRC plus. That's going to check out pretty high among the qualified hitters there. I'm going to say it's going to be top 30, and I'm going to sell it short. He's literally 9th. He's a gold. Come on, SDS. You're killing it this year on content, but you got to get this one. This is my boy here. I got him across all my fantasy leagues. This was one of my big must-get players, though, too, because I knew he was going to be leading off for Oakland. Love his OBP. He's even throwing in some steals this year, so they could sprinkle a little bit on that, too, if they wanted, but that's really up to them. So I got him 79.5 because I don't think he gets there without the position change because he is 4 points away, but if they give him the left field that he deserves, it's a wrap. Now, for the Adolising. I don't know if anyone in my chat guessed it, but this week's Adolising goes to Said the Entertainer. And you know what? The market's pretty much already there. You don't usually see bronzes this high, so everybody knows that it could happen. Just like Odolis was running high too, because everyone knew that, like, hey, it's certainly a possibility. And Said has just been out of his mind this year, and I think he gets a huge upgrade that really can push him all the way there. What I do wonder is if his arm has improved at all. I don't have any idea of that. I imagine that it probably hasn't. Usually if you have kind of a rag arm, you don't just all of a sudden get a better one. But I think there's enough heat in his offense to get him there. He's just been off the charts. Again, against righties, against lefties, he stopped switch hitting. It completely changed everything for him. He's been electric. I think he gets fat numbers across the board, especially to that power. He has 9 homers already, 3 triples, and 15 doubles. And I think there's a chance that Cedric Mullins goes gold here and is the Adolis of the week. Next up, we have the aforementioned, or the alluded to. That's not a word, but let's make it one because I didn't mention it, but I hinted at it. I'm sure there's a better way to say that, but I have a small brain. TJ Antone was the one. So again, Molly and Antone, they're close. Both of them are close. I don't know if both get it. The one I picked happened to be Antone because he's been just too elite this year. Like, Molly's been very good. Antone has been elite. Just absolutely dominant in every sense of the word. He's a freaking god too for BR. He used to have even more stamina. I think they cut it recently, but his stuff is nice. His per nines are great. He's on inside edge a lot. So this will suck to lose him as a silver in BR, but I tell you what, I probably still take him as a gold. I think he gets there. And looking at this plus 12's getting him to 81. He might blow past it. He might go to 81. Like, I could see him maybe getting the 5 points like this. So that's really interesting with TJ Antone, but he's a monster. Hopefully you're already invested, but there's still plenty of room there on both of these guys. Next up, another guy who had a great night tonight, just putting the cherry on top. Pablo Lopez, baby. I think it's time for Pablo Lopez to get there. This Marlins staff does not have anybody gold yet. That's a travesty, man, because they're having excellent pitchers this year. And I think it's time to show out with some gold. And Pablo Lopez can be the first. I got him going up to an 80. Another guy who improved his case tonight. Not sure he needed it. Not sure Pablo needed it either. But why not sprinkle some goodness on top? That's Chris Bassett. Again, you see the market's kind of already there on that one. Although you put in the buy orders under 750 for somebody that I think is damn near a lock. That's not bad. You're at least clearing some profit. But you have missed the boat ostensibly on really profiting on him. 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Just another beast outing for Chris Bassett. And then we have one more here, and this one kind of snuck up on me. I didn't realize that he'd gotten hot again. I see you, Randall Grichuk. I see you with your 2 buttons on your jersey when I was in Houston for the Toronto-Houston game, and he had literally 9 buttons undone. Like, hey, guy, do you want to handle that or no? He said no. And I said, okay. It was a weird conversation. It didn't happen. I'm kidding. He actually ignored us, which is fine. They don't owe us anything. I would freaking ignore people too. I'd be a fucking prick, man. I'd be like, don't fucking talk to me, man. I'm in the batter's box, dog. And they'd be like, you're in the on deck circle, dweeb. I'd be like, same thing, dickhead. and I'd get flustered, and then I would look like the total dweeb, and they'd be like, that's a pro player right there. That I'm glad I'm not a pro. I just got anxiety thinking about how that would go. I'd be getting pwned by kids left and right, dude. Anyway, he's still maintaining this split for the season, but over the last couple weeks, he flipped it a little bit. He didn't exactly plummet against lefties, but he did get going against righties. And so I think it's going to be enough to get him there. As you can see, +4s gets him there. So I think this is kind of a slam dunk. Mark is kind of already there. Like I said, it snuck up on me. He wasn't on my radar, but Market is keen to that one. Still a little juice if you want to get in there, but you've missed the boat on the big investment. All right. Now we have a lot of gold to golds, and I understand that non-level changers don't always get everybody super excited, but again, it's the next wave of diamonds to look at. So these guys are very important, especially for those of you who think long-term and you want to get the next diamond at $1,500, $2,000 instead of paying $3,500, $4,000. Yeah, you're still profiting, but why not get in early? So let's talk about some guys who are going to look like our next potential diamonds, and we'll start with the guy who recently got a diamond, and that's Fredward Peralta, who's been on fire. He's at a base price. So here, when you see this, anything in this range here, when the sell now is under 1,200, it's basically a free roll. So if you believe in a guy, you can get in and you're not really risking anything, because if they don't go, you just quick sell them back. You might lose a little bit. Or if they go up, but they don't quite get to gold, they're probably gonna be more expensive than the 1,000 anyway. So you probably don't even have to quick sell, but that's the lowest thing that you would have to do, is to get back to square one, basically. Now I got him going to 83 this week. He's still a long way out. Don't get me wrong. I'm thinking probably 2 updates after this one, perhaps like an all-star break kind of thing, but that's okay. You get in now, you keep an eye on him, and if he continues to limit walks, and go deeper into games, that 8-inning, no hit bid can help him get some stamina too. I think we got a chance to get our boy there. I think we get an 83 this week though. I don't see diamond for this guy, but by all means, continue to pay $5,000 or $4,000 for his gold cards. Jesse Winker, he's gonna get an upgrade. I guess if it's +15s against righties, he would get to diamond. That is actually kind of intriguing. That is a little bit of info that I did not have. I do have him going to 83. I don't know if they're going to give him +15s. I mean, he is absolutely decimating right-handers, but 122 and 111, that would be kind of a lot. That'd be kind of like, he's been great, but it's not like he's the best hitter in baseball against righties for like a set, a long period of time. So I don't know that they're necessarily going to go with +15s, and if that's what it takes to get him to 85, then he's not going. I got him for an 83 right now. Again, I wouldn't invest, y'all, and I probably could have skipped him because he's pretty expensive anyway, but I just want to let you know where I stand with him. Well, I got these 4 pretty cheap. I think it's time to sell. I'm in to sell, y'all. I don't know. Maybe I should at least wait till Friday, but I'm going to sell on hype, because if he doesn't get it, he'll plummet. All right, let's go to the White Sox and talk about Carlos Rodon. And Rodon, the way he's pitching, I'm going to say, the way he's pitching right now, if he stays healthy, it's a matter of time before diamond. With pitching like this. Now, I'm not saying he has to maintain it to the nth degree, meaning like he doesn't have to have a 198 ERA, okay? There can be some wiggle room here. He can give up a few more hits. If his hit rate goes from 5.3 to 6.3, that's still very good. If his strikeout rate comes down from like 13.2 to 12, or even 11 and a half, and his walk rate goes up a little bit, like he meanders a little bit, but he's like 4 months deep doing this, or 3 months deep doing this. So sometime in July, I think there's a chance for Rodon to get diamond, like a really strong chance. So I've got him 83 this week. He's a free roll. He's a free roll. He had a great outing today. It was a little short at 5 innings, but he was still great against an excellent team. And there's an extra degree of difficulty going up against Toronto as a left-hander. They don't have any left-handers. Well, they have Kevin Biggio, but that basically means that they don't have any left-handers. If you've seen his numbers this year, I'm sorry, Kevin. Yeah, I think you're still a beast, but you're struggling right now. And so, 83 for now, but a real chance to go, and he's a free roll. Guess who's starting to creep up and actually maybe earn his price? I got 2 more points for him here. Apparently +13s get him to 88. That's pretty insane. That's okay. That's interesting. Anyway, I got him going to 83. Maybe he's 84 knocking on the door. Honestly, if they quicksilvered him, if they just popped him right up there, I wouldn't have a single problem with it. Who would be mad if Ohtani was a diamond? Like, in what world would that be incorrect? He is absolutely a diamond. I don't know if he gets there yet because I just don't know, because we know that after a test that KB Law ran in my Twitch chat, the hitting numbers don't affect anything. You can zero those out, his overall doesn't move. You can 99 or 125 of them out, his numbers don't move. So it all has to come down to the pitching, which has been exquisite lately, including that walk rate finally coming down. So he's got a really good chance at this point. I was worried when he was walking the yard that he was never going to get there because the hitting wasn't helping it. But now seeing what this does, this plus 13s. Oh, you know what I forgot though? It's also plus 2s across the board. Yep. My chat's telling me. I had the realization, and then I looked at chat. That's a good point. The parallel is playing a big role in that. The plus 13s alone would not get him to 88, but they would do a lot. The plus 13s would do a lot, but that's why I have him at 83 anyway. And I would say, I really want to see him go diamond. Like, I'm not even super invested in him, but I want to see him go diamond just because I think it's the right thing. I think Shohei Ohtani needs to be a diamond in the game. All right, let's go to the Astros, everybody's favorite team. Talk about two of their players, and I'll just cut to the chase. I got both going to 84. Okay, I'll be quick on it. I got Correa and Altuve going to 84. They're knocking on the door. You see those plus 14s that they have today, getting them both to 84. I don't know that it's necessarily going to come against lefties or whatever. I just see they've been both killing it. They're knocking on the door for diamond. This team's scary, by the way. People aren't talking about it because they don't like the Astros. And so I think they're being ignored. Like, if we just don't look at them, they won't be good. And they're just like, well, we're actually awesome. Sorry about it. Let's go out to Philly, talk about their ace. I said it. Zach Wheeler, because he's their ace right now. He's been fantastic. He really has, man. This is the development that was expected when he was a premium prospect with the Giants. Some of you might not even remember that. I believe he was traded for Beltran, straight up, right? As a rental. That's when rentals still cost a lot, man, because I don't think Beltran was very good for San Francisco. Oh, check that. He was amazing. I'm a fucking idiot. But that's still 44 games of Beltran. Literally just 44 games. They didn't re-sign him. So 44 games of Beltran for Zach Wheeler, though, is expensive. But he was amazing. So I was dead ass wrong on that aspect of it. But you just don't see rentals costing that much anymore. And yeah, it was a straight up 1-for-1 deal. The Mets did throw in some cash. So Beltran was free, I guess. Let me just be the first to say that doesn't make it any better. And then, of course, the Mets don't have him anymore, but it's not like they didn't get some good years out of him. Bottom line, he signed with Philly, and he's been excellent. Obviously, he was with them last year. Don't mean to imply that this is his first year with them. He was excellent with them last year. He's been great yet again, and he's really come into his own with that strikeout rate. That's where he needs a fantastic upgrade, and I think he gets up to an 84. I think Zach Wheeler's knocking on the door of diamond very legitimately. Now we get a couple closers to talk about. Edwin Diaz has been on fire. I got him going to 2 points, going up 2 points to an 84 as well. And this crusty MF, who's insane, and I'm sorry I doubted you. I couldn't have been more wrong. I'm very sorry. Craig Kimbrell, I got him going to an 84. He's knocking on the door of diamond. I think it's high time that they really give some love to that walk rate now, as he's not Alex Reyesing. I don't know why I'm going so hard at Alex Reyes, just catching strays left and right. But I think Kimbrell's walk rate really needs to be improved. 15.4 K9, 3.8 walk hits per 9. He's been incredible. He's really been fantastic, and we could definitely see Craig Kimbrell as a diamond very soon. And then we have another reliever. He's not a closer, but he is a reliever. He is excellent, and he is Giovanni Gallegos. Love him. He's incredible, and I got him going to an 84. I firmly believe he will get to diamond this year, y'all. I'll just say that. That's where I'm at with Gallegos. I'm going to have to buy back in because I TA'd a bunch of my Gallegoses when it looked like they weren't giving him any love, and now all of a sudden here he goes. But I got him going to 84. He'll be knocking on the door. Let's stay here and talk about Jack Flaherty. Now, this is similar to the Evan Longoria situation that I talked about, where he did just get hurt. Now, there's conflicting reports about the nature of Flaherty's injury. There's a report that said, oh, he's going to be out for until the All-Star break. He came out and said, that is not true. You're full of crap. And so we don't know yet. He's going to be further evaluated. Either way, though, he is on the IL. Did he do enough to get to Diamond? Probably, because he is a former Diamond. So it's like, did he reattain his status? Do we see him as the ace that he's been? Yeah, we do. So I could see them giving it to him and just parking him at Diamond, and then let's see what happens when he comes back. But I'm going to play it a little conservative and call it an 84. He's so cheap that it doesn't help. I will say this, though. If he doesn't get it, and if the injury is long-term, well, then you're going to have to sell your shares back, and they could plummet. They could plummet. It just depends. And so that one is a risk that you're taking, because if they announce something that is a month on the shelf and he only gets to 84, I don't think his price will really hold. I think he would actually become an 84 that is like damn near base price. So it just depends how the market would react to whatever news comes out. Next up, Ketel Marte. He's working his way back to Diamond in short order. I got him going 84 here. Just keep an eye on him. If you've invested, just hold. This is the sneak Diamond this year, and I think he's got a real chance to get there, because Alex Verdugo is a stud. He really is. Now, where he needs to maintain is power, which isn't even, off the charts for him. It's never been like a major thing in his game. And even this year, 177 doesn't jump out and say, wow, what a power monster this guy is. But I think he is doing enough to kind of put himself on that doorstep, because here's the thing. We've talked about this before. When you have elite defense, your hitting marker does not need to be that high to go to the next level. We think too much about just hitting with players, and somebody says Alex Verdugo Diamond, you say, oh, he sucks. He's an 820 OPS. You named one piece of his game. The other part happens to be, incredible with an elite arm. So it's like, yeah, his hitting isn't going to be Diamond. In fact, with an upgrade, it might even still be a Silver Shield, and he could be Diamond. But even if it's Gold and Diamond, you don't have to have Diamond to be a Diamond player, if that makes sense. So I think Verdugo has a real shot to get there this year. I'm really intrigued by him, and I'm hanging on to a decent handful of them. All right, here's another position change one. If he gets the position change, it's a wrap. He gets there. If not, I think it could be an 84. And that's Mr. Lightning himself, Marcus Semien. He absolutely deserved the Lightning. He had an amazing month. There were many candidates. I'm not saying he was the only candidate, but I'm very excited about this, man. I love Marcus Semien cards. Cannot wait to get the new Diamond. I do have him going to, I said 84.5. He's not their shortstop. If he goes to second base, he's a Diamond. I think they're waiting for him to kind of be Diamond to move him there, because they know if they just move him there right now, he'll go right to Diamond. So I think this is the week where that all kind of marries. He just got the Lightning card. Make it happen. Couple new Diamonds. Back to the bullpen, man. Bullpens are on fire right now. Matt Barnes. I don't know. I don't know either. I don't know how Matt Barnes is a Diamond, but it's legit. I mean, +1s get him there. Like, what's this price, y'all? What is this price? I'm just going to buy another 2 off the top just because. I just don't know how he doesn't get there. Like, I'm surprised by it too, but Matt Barnes has been amazing this year. I think he needs to be a Diamond. And then our steady workhorse here, Lance Lynn. Same old. I'm not going to dive too deep here. The market's already there. We're just waiting. I do think he gets it this week, though. I thought he was going to get it 2 weeks ago, though, so what the hell do I know? Oh, I only backed out once. It was at the very end. Damn it, I almost made it the entire time. Last one is Jacob deGrom. I got him going 93 to 96. I bring this up primarily because it's just going to make him more useful in seasons. He already is, by the way. He's freaking insane. What I want to do is talk to SDS about putting a little something right there. You see that real estate? free real estate right there. And I got the perfect tenant for that spot. Outlier. Come on, SDS. You know you want it. You know. Just put it there. Come on. Don't be shy. Just put the outlier on there. It puts the outlier in the basket. I've only seen that movie once. I don't really get that joke, but I know it's a reference that some people are going to go, he needs to have outlier. He needs to get an upgrade too, but even if he stays as is and gets outlier, he's still in my rotation. As you see, I have not had troubles pitching with Jacob deGrom. I've kind of emulated. Actually, I look like a piece of shit compared to real life Jacob deGrom because his ERA is sub 1, but I do have a pretty insane .56 whip. He's pretty disgusting online, and I know that he plays in the high levels too. I was watching Samuel Adams the other day. He couldn't hit for his life. Excellent player. Had no chance against deGrom. I don't mean to call him out. He's like, come on, dude. I streamed that. I got enough heat for it there. Don't put me on blast. But he would admit it. The deGrom on Legend is freaking nuts too. So if you are a top player, I think you can still be using deGrom for sure, especially if he goes to 96, which I think he can get. He should just get tons of upgrades. He's incredible. And that would make him as good as Trout. And who has a problem with that? Who? In fact, by the way, I'll just say this one. I do have Acuna on the list too. He was on just the main list, not this one. But since we're here, I got him going 96. I think all three of them should be 96. I know Trout's the best player in the league. Or regarded as such. I think these two can join. I think these two can join the party. You know why? Because they're playing right now. I don't say that to dig at Trout, but he's not adding to his bottom line right now. They are. So I think get those two up there, right there with him at 96. So we'll see how it goes, but it looks like a heck of a week. Again, lots to still invest in. Good luck with everything that you're getting into. Hopefully we'll make a shit ton of stubs on Friday. I appreciate you watching. If I missed anybody, put it down in the comments for sure. And I'll give you my thoughts on it if I can get to the comments. I should be able to. So if there's somebody that I didn't talk about, you can ask about them. Although I will say a lot of times they're on the main list because that does have 60 more players. So I'll try to get to some of them for sure. Oh yeah, one obvious guy that I didn't talk about, I meant to when I was talking Flaherty, was Tyler O'Neill. He is going to go, like, he's a lock, but the market's already there for one, so I didn't want to waste y'all's time. Just so I didn't get any questions about Tyler O'Neill, yes, of course, he's going to go. It's just too obvious to worry about. Anyway, thanks for watching.